Well, it warmed up a little bit. It's up to 50 degrees, so decided to come out and take a look at the backhoe loader problem. So some of the advice or opinions that I got about that horrible noise and the performance of the loader have come in. And one of the things that some people were saying was that I still have air in the system and that I should try and bleed the air by fully running the loader all the way up and all the way down a couple of times and see if I can clear the air out. So figure that's easy enough. Try that. Although I don't think that's going to fix it. The other possibility is a problem with the relief valve, which is actually this device right here. You actually remove this acorn nut, and underneath the acorn nut is where the adjustment is to adjust this valve. I don't think it's a matter of needing to be readjusted because I haven't touched that adjustment, but it could possibly be a problem with the valve malfunctioning. And what that might be doing is that when I go to lift the loader, the weight of the bucket and the arms puts enough stress on there, and that the valve is opening prematurely or sticking open and causing fluid to run back to the return line to the reservoir as opposed to going to where it needs to go. So it's a nice warm day, so hopefully we won't need any starting aid except for maybe a short blast of the heating coil. Try this. One more hit of the coil. Heater. Try that. Alright, so the outer control is the raising and lowering. It's funny, that already sounds better than it did before. Alright, so let's... It's still noisy. Alright, that's not doing anything. Running it up and down is not doing anything to help it. In addition to the noise, There's quite a bit of vibration when I engage it. So watch the battery. I mean, I can feel the whole seat shaking. Well, I'm going to move the tractor closer to the house before I start messing with that loader valve. So I just topped off that low level in the power steering pump. And again, that's automatic transmission fluid that goes in there on this model. So I did that, but now it just occurred to me I got to fix that leak on the steering column. There it is right there. I got a good sized rot through hole right there on the column, and fluid gushes out of there when it's at a high level, and especially when you first start it. So I've got to fix that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get some hose clamps and clamp a piece of rubber around that. Found something I think is going to work better for that patch. This is a short section I cut out of a roll of flexible PVC piping. This is typically used in the pool and spa industry. It's got kind of a rubberized quality to it, but it's also reinforced. And what I did was I cut a short section out of that, and I cut a slit in it so I can spread it open and wrap it around my steering column. And then I've got this hose clamp, and we'll tighten it on with that. I'll just make sure that I put the slit on the back side away from the hole, and then I might have to cut out a little bit of material here because I don't know what the OD of that shaft is, steering column is, but it might be a little bit smaller than this. Alright, I cut a chunk out, so now it should fit around the pipe. Alright, so there's my fix. I got the patch in place, and then I position the clamp directly over where the patch is covering the hole. So my maximum clamping force is right in that area. And I happen to think that that's going to be okay. Well, one easy way to find out. Start it up and see what happens. Okay, this relief valve is going to be pretty easy to get at if I take the battery out. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Actually, even better yet, took the junk out of this side, slid the battery over. Now I have enough room to get to the relief valve assembly and not have to take the battery out. So I'll be able to restart it if I want to try and adjust that. So, decisions. Do I try and adjust this first, or do I just take it out to inspect it? If I take it out to inspect it and I see something obvious wrong with it, then I'll know for sure it's an issue with the relief valve, and I can focus on that. If I take it out and I see nothing wrong with it, well, then it means it's not the relief valve, or the relief valve needs to be adjusted. And then, of course, the other problem with taking it out is if I take it out, I run the risk of creating a leak where I currently don't have one, depending on what seals this to the body. I also wonder how much fluid would come out of there when I open this up. I hate to make a big mess all over the ground. Let's see, better get my bucket. My largest crescent wrench opened all the way up is just shy of being big enough to get on there. Let's see. Ooh, luckily I was able to put this on backwards and get it off of my small pipe wrench. And once it broke free, it loosened right up. So that tells me there's probably an O-ring in here that seals that. Alright, there's a ball in there. So this is basically like a ball check valve. Probably what we got. Oop, I've just pocket dialed something. Alright, not much to see here. You get a ball on the end here, and there's probably a spring behind there, and that's probably what puts tension on there. And then the amount that the spring is compressed probably controls at what point that ball is going to allow fluid to flow past it. And that compression is probably controlled by an adjustment underneath this acorn nut here. So I think if I separate this nut from this body, I'll be able to take that spring out and inspect it, see if there's any debris in there.